tell you a thing or two. I just like the way that you change and grew into yourself, love the way that you bloom. Detached from negativity and change your mood. Didn't even ask how many planes that I flew, as many as it takes just to change the view. But you don't even know how much pain ensued, and you don't even know how much pay I'm due. You don't even know about the times I lost my cool, but they never see me sweat like I'm sitting in the pool. And I utilize emotions like a motherfucking tool, even if they heavy like the moon is fucking full. So every day I come through and make these bitches drool. Don't even got to try like I'm sitting on the stool. All these bitches shit, I ain't sampling the stool. I ain't sampling the stool. Baby, come and ride with me. Baby, come and ride with me. Don't you fucking lie to me. You know that shit's way easy to see for me. Come right home, right home. You know where you should be. Baby, about the green, I ain't talking about a vegetable. It's okay, cause you know my money edible. Let it spend it all, cause my pockets be all plentiful. Looking like cadet, but I'm spitting like the general. Throwing all that dope, hit your moves with like the chemicals. I be high as hell, see some things and I ain't telling them. Words on the page, let it stack up to infinity. Souls getting slayed when I rap, cause I ain't feeling them. Met a chick named Jillian, took her to my island like my name is fucking Gilligan. Told her spin it around 360 like a Sullivan, or like tires on the rubber pillar, man. Baby, come and see again. I don't got to be your friend, don't gotta compete to win. We can slide, put my feet on the fence. Don't you feel where I done been? Don't you see how I got you bent? Don't you see all these funny chains? Don't you see all these diamond rings? I'm just playing. Get it out my face. I ain't give a fuck about the shit that you said. I don't give a fuck about the shit in the way. Get it out the way. Get it out the way. I ain't take no breaks, baby. You know I've been clocked in. Let's just run away. I won't cuff you, but we locked in. You know we could ball if we never ever stop this. We could flex up like we brolic. Rock out like a mosh pit. Speak to ourselves, ignore the gossip. Run these checks up like it's nonsense. Drip all in your closet, and we can share the profits and shine just like fresh glossing. Strictly money tossing. Baby, I told you to ride. Baby, I told you to ride. It's time to just make up your mind. It's time for you to decide. Baby, just make up your mind. Baby, just make up your mind. I'll leave you behind. I'll leave you behind. They loving the way that I shine. I really ain't wasting no time. I know that you think that she grind, but no interest in making her mine. I'm keeping it hush like a mine. In the dark, -1 on a 9. I'm gambling with my life. Every day that I step to the mic, I'm paying the risk and the price. Know some people, they want me behind. I told you I shine. Little baby, just make up your mind. Oh yeah. Baby, can you do it for me? Baby, can you do it for me? Baby, pop that thing for a real one. Been a player since a children. Been a player since a children. Everybody look at me like a villain. All they look like a victim. Smile on my face, but that's just how I'm feeling. Kill it like a villain. I won't be the victim. Baby, you can pick them. Baby, come and pick me up. I'm coming, finna slide in the truck. Coming, finna slide in the truck. Baby, all about my bucks. If you're not, no luck. If you're not, no luck. Sorry, all about my bucks. Thank you, baby, for everything. I appreciate you. Thank you. One more. I'm feeling one more for the intro. This one. Touch and feel her like Dig Dug, I'm a driller. She was Dilla, I think it's just about Skrilla. And no, she ain't vanilla. She chocolate like my Dilla. Why the fuck I love her like a fucking soul sister? It's easy for a killer, yeah, it's easy for a killer. I see way too much, I don't need to be inspired. Working every day, but won't go flat like a tire or just burn out like a lighter. Energy on 10 because I know I'm the supplier. I'm preaching to the choir. Ran through laundromat dryer. Know that you wish I was a liar. I just know the team had her gushing like a geyser. Ah, yeah. Bitch, I'm in the function. Make assumptions. Rough it. Bitch, I'm like a roughneck. Bitch, I'm like a redneck. All I care about is checks. Take it to the fucking head. I don't fucking. I go hard like a fucking vet. Correct. You might just get popped like a. Nobody told you today. I love you. Bye. Okay, welcome back to another communication station with your boy Schwetzel in the building. We're going to get started directly today because once again, I've got to go into work at 3 p.m. So we're going to fucking do a quick little breakdown of the energies as far as what the title is today. Y'all can read, so don't gotta sit here and reiterate that shit. But for those of you who maybe can't read, today we're talking about how to actually deal with problems with authority, because I be noticing a lot of people be having problems with authority in a lot of situations, as far as people may not really have a directive system within themselves. What's good, Malo, and what's good, Grace Anna? Thanks for showing up. But anyways, yeah, I'll be noticing a lot of people be having issues with authority and issues with people in charge, whether that be a judge at the courthouse, whether that be a manager at your job, whether that be your mom or somebody always trying to tell you what to do and shit like that. I'll be noticing a lot of people, a lot of people want to call this rebellious, but at the end of the day, it goes down to a main root cause issue of you not having no leadership within yourself and you not having no authority within yourself. That be the main root cause of the issue of why you experience a lot of problems with authority and why you feel like you want to be rebellious and not listen to these motherfuckers. The reason why is because you have no internal directing system. You have no internal authority. So, how you actually deal with your problems with authority is to take power and control and create an internal leadership and an internal authority over yourself, over your own thoughts and feelings, over your own perception, over everything that you have control of and everything that you can direct in your life. So, for example, a lot of people be having an issue with authority, but when they get home and they're on their own time, they're in the same situation because they don't have any authority over themselves. They don't direct their life in any type of way. So what actually ends up happening is you will be a person. What's good, Zay? Thanks for popping up. But what will actually happen is it'll be a situation where when you at work, you always need somebody to tell you, like, hey, make sure you go and work this station and make sure you have this done by the end of the night and make sure, you know what I'm saying, you handle these responsibilities by the end of the night. But when you get home and you're on your own time, you don't ever do shit. You don't do nothing but lay around in the bed or be on your phone all the time or playing video games. And in a way, if you really want to get technical with it, I mean, that's still you directing and having some type of authority and leadership over your own life. I mean, you're directing yourself to sit on your ass all day, or you're directing yourself to play video games all day. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the times I'd be noticing people have greater dreams and imagination and goals than what they're currently doing at the moment. They just can't make themselves take action on it because they don't have the authority or the leadership within themselves. So they always need some formulation of a blueprint. They always need some formulation of a person outside of themselves sitting there and telling them, okay, this is how this is done, and these are the steps that you need to take to get to this goal, whatever you're going to. So it would be a lot easier for a lot of people in real life to actually act on their dreams, imagination, and goals, charismatic gifts and talents, if there's somebody in their ear sitting here and giving them support constantly and telling them they're doing a good job or they're doing the right thing, or a situation where they're actually physically sitting here and directing them and telling them the steps that they need to take and telling them, like, look, hey, make sure you at least get this done today, or you know what I'm saying, at least make sure by the end of the day, when you're 12 hours or how many ever hours we get of daylight. I'm not sure what the exact, I think it's like 16 or some shit like that. Well, you know, you're 16 hours of daylight, make sure you have at least this done. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people will be in situations where they actually need somebody right there telling them shit like that, and that would make that a lot easier for y'all. So if you're not a person who has the actual internal strength to be able to sit here and direct yourself and put authority over yourself internally and have some type of authority over your mentality, over your thoughts and feelings, over your perspective, then you might actually need to be in a situation where you attract somebody in your environment who's going to be able to tell you how to do things and tell you what you need to get done by the end of the day. So if you're a person who doesn't really have a problem with authority and you just need the leadership like that, like, yeah, it might be okay for an individual like that to have somebody in their environment. But just keep in mind, I've told y'all many times, how we interact with our environment, we're not only programming ourselves to become accustomed to certain things, accustomed to handouts, accustomed to having somebody in our ear, accustomed to always needing somebody outside of ourselves to help us handle our issues and our problems and even our solutions. You get what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind if you're going to utilize this energy through another person, as far as having somebody telling you what to do and shit like that. So if you need that, that's another type of thing. Just keep in mind what I just said. You're programming the individuals in your reality, you're programming the reality itself, and you're programming yourself subconsciously, consciously, unconsciously to become accustomed to these things, to become used to them. So anytime a problem occurs in your life, or anytime you need leadership, you might start to become desperate if you don't have it and you only have yourself to rely on. So keep that in mind at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, we only have ourselves to rely on. And another thing is, a lot of times people will be trying, a lot of times people will lead you down the wrong path, or be attempting to lead you down the wrong path on purpose, or just by mistake due to how things worked for them. It might not necessarily work for you that way. So just keep that in mind if you're going to use this through another person. Keep in mind that you only got yourself to rely on at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? But let's talk about how to actually fix these problems by becoming your own internal authority and your own internal leadership. And then we can talk about how these things actually play in life and shit, how these things actually play out in life in a practical sense when you actually start to apply these things to yourself, and then you can reflect that outwardly and carry that aura with you. So that way, and I'll tell y'all how it's going to play out once we get to that tip. But what we need to do is we need to create a strong man and woman, and direct ourselves whatever direction that we're trying to go. Get yourself to a space of enough mental and emotional clarity to the point where you actually have the internal strength to and listen, this is another thing too. You need to, hey, how you doing, Misa B? Thanks for showing up again. But this is another thing too. If we need to get to a space of mental and emotional clarity to the point where we can actually take action on the things that we want to take action on. And beyond that, we need to get ourselves to a point where we respect ourselves. We need to do things that make ourselves respect ourselves, love ourselves, care for ourselves. That way, whenever we create a certain thought form and a certain emotion, it is strong enough, and all the blood cells within you, all the thoughts and feelings within you, all the bitches and dudes and slaves within you are gonna be able to actually correlate with that more because they respect it. You get what I'm saying? This is how you program your internal reality. You have to be develop enough internal strength and enough internal respect systems and enough internal self-love and care systems to the point where everything within you is going to respect what you're saying. And that way, whenever you tell yourself to do certain things, you can actually make yourselves do them things, because all the selves within you, all the cells within you, the selves within you are going to listen to it and they're going to respect it. And you're actually going to take action on these things. And you're not just going to be sitting here like telling yourself like, oh yeah, I know I should be doing that right now. Like, oh yeah, I know I would rather be doing this right now rather than playing this video game or just scrolling on my phone at the moment. But you constantly repeat it to yourself and nothing ever happens. Your body doesn't respond to it. You don't have any strong emotion that responds to it. The thought form ain't even strong enough to gravitate any type of attention, respect, any type of strength. You know what I'm saying? Any type of discipline, anything like that. So this is what you need to develop on your own time. That way you have the clarity mentally and emotionally to be able to actually start to act on these things outwardly instead of just imagining them all the time, or it just being some type of dream or illusion that becomes a delusion because you never take action on it and it becomes impractical at that moment. Y'all know I'm a Capricorn sun. So a lot of my content is correlated to what can we actually do in real life? What can we, these spiritual concepts and these esoteric concepts that everyone be talking about, how can we actually apply these things in real life and actually get some type of benefit from it, or actually experience some type of changing of the surroundings in some type of way due to how we're developing our internal environment and our internal atmosphere. And now, whenever you develop these things, as far as what I just spoke about, your internal authority, your internal leadership, when you develop these things on a day-to-day basis, you're being disciplined with it, you're balancing it out in the correct type of aspects for your own individual perspective and shit like that, and what feels right to you. You know what I'm saying? Once you get through that hump, now, like I said in my past video, that becomes like a cloak that you get to put on your spirit. That becomes another filtering system. That becomes another tool, another fucking goddamn wrench socket piece on the tool belt. You know what I'm saying? So that shit is on you now. And well, it's really in you, but from that type of perspective, it appears as if it's on you due to you being the spirit observing these tools and creating these tools that you've made for yourself. You get what I'm saying? So as you're observing yourself wearing this now, and the more that you put energy and attention into that, being your own authority, self-governing type of energies, own leadership type of energies, not needing nobody else, able to handle your own problems, self-sufficiency, shit like that. The more that you develop that those tools, the more strength, the more strong that it's going to be. So you're going to be wearing that on yourself, and people are going to get that energy from you. And especially depending upon your actions, like when you're in certain environments, whenever you're at your work job place, or whenever you're at, you know what I'm saying, wherever you may be, you have your own internal authority and you have your own internal leadership. So you don't necessarily need a manager or somebody telling you what you necessarily need to do and not to do in the environment. So what you'll start to notice is that people are able to pick up on this energy. People are able to sense this coming off of you whenever you're in these environments. So how this actually play out in a practical sense in real life is, make sure not only are you wearing that energy on yourself, you're wearing that vibration, you're wearing that frequency on yourself internally, but at the same time, it's an aura that is emanated off of you. People sense that, people see that off of you. And not only that, you're making the right type of actions that correlate to your internal authority and your internal leadership. If you're a person who has problems with authority and you don't like sitting here listening to a manager in your ear all night, and every time you take 2 seconds to stop at the counter and take a rest for a moment or some shit, you have another manager popping up in your ear or up in your face telling you like, hey, you need to make sure that this get clean, or hey, you need to make sure that this happen or this don't happen, or you know what I'm saying? So how this will actually play out is, like I said, make sure that you're taking the right actions as well. Don't just be a person who wears this on themselves internally, but and people are able to sense it, but still you're not doing not shit when you're at work and stuff like that, or when you're out in the world in some type of aspect. You get what I'm saying? In a position where you are a slave to someone else's authority, situations like that. Just make sure you have your internal and authority and leadership checked at the door, utilizing accountability, balancing it out in the right aspects. And then when you go in these environments, take the right actions. And what you're going to see actually happen is everyone else in your environment needs to have somebody there telling them what to do. They have no internal authority. They have no internal leadership. So what you're going to notice is these people are going to get told what to do all night. And the funny thing about it is these people will become subjugated to being forced to do much more work than you would have to do in the environment. If when you got your internal authority and leadership in check, what's going to happen is you're already doing certain things within yourself, and even if you're taking action in the environment a little bit and just keeping it balanced so it just doesn't look like you're not doing shit all day. You get what I'm saying? So what you'll actually see start to happen is the managers will fuck off from you. Like they'll leave you alone. Your boss and shit will leave you alone. They'll fuck off from you because every time they see you, they see, okay, yeah, this motherfucker's always busy. He's always got a broom in his hand. He's always got a washcloth in his hand, wiping down the counters, or whatever type of job you're into. He's always in this data and analysis job. He's always punching in numbers. In this accounting job, he's always doing his math and making sure the money's right and da 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 da. I don't need to tell him to make sure he do this spreadsheet. I don't need to tell him to make sure that he reprint these photos and make sure that they're saved to my hard drive or my fucking USB filing system or however y'all's jobs is correlating shit. But I think y'all get what I'm saying. The people in your environment, you'll start to notice how they're going to be subjugated to much more work than you are, because every chance that they get, they are in some formulation of needing to be told what to do next. So every time they finish a job, even if you take a little 5 to 10 to 15 minute break in between every job that you finish, the moment that you're done cooling for a second, you're right into the next thing. You don't, you know what I'm saying? You just see what needs to be done in the environment due to your own internal authority and leadership, and you handle that immediately. You know what I'm saying? There's no type of you needing to even walk up and ask somebody like what needs to be done next. Like, you know what I'm saying? You already know what needs to be done low key due to your own internal authority and shit like that, especially if you've been at a certain job for a while, like, you know, the ins and outs of it. But at the same time too, don't be afraid to play the fool card a little bit. That can help you skip out on some fucking slave work as well. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, oh, ain't nobody showed me how to do that yet. I don't know how to do that yet. You know what I'm saying? You can be like that. And a manager will damn near make somebody else show you how to do it. And you got to sit here and watch them do it and just sit back on your hands type shit and just be like, yeah, it is what it is. Like, let this person do that. I'll watch you this time. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't gonna work always. You know what I'm saying? You just play that full card in the right type of aspect. But like I was saying, you're going to see how other individuals are going to get overbeared with the workload, and you are going to be one who just kind of gets to do whatever the fuck they want to. Like this shit is played out in real life circumstances in my own life. You know what I'm saying? Like, where even if a manager will come through and write everybody's name down on a piece of paper and say, okay, these are the tasks that this person needs to have done by the end of the night. These are the tasks that this person need to have done by the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? My name was on the list. Okay. I was already doing other shit. I was already being my own authority and own internal leadership. You know what I'm saying? They made somebody else do what I was supposed to do on the list. You get what I'm saying? They made, because I went and read the list and I seen what I was supposed to do. I never went and did that shit. I started just going and doing my own thing and started doing other shit. You know what I'm saying? And so what they did is they was like, okay, we gonna make this kid who kind of not really doing shit and kind of lost and always need to be guided like a sheep. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make him handle Michael's responsibilities for the night. You get what I'm saying? So now Michael can really just do whatever the fuck he want to do type shit. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't have to be told. I basically get to decide whatever the fuck I want to do. That's how it actually plays out when you're your own internal authority and leadership. And the funny thing about it is you would even have managers coming to thank you and shit like that and telling you you done a good job tonight and shit like that. If you play this shit out in the right type of aspect. Like I said, they'll force all the lazy, ain't shit ass individuals who always need some type of directive, some type of every time they finish a task, they need to be told what to do next. They'll make all these motherfuckers do everything on the list. Meanwhile, you get X'd out of the list. They make somebody else handle your responsibilities. Meanwhile, you get to do whatever the fuck you want to do, because you get to, at this point now, you get to pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? At this point now, you get to pick and choose. You don't have to deal with no issues of anybody telling you how to do anything. No issues of anyone telling you you need to go here next and do this next, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, there still might be minor circumstances and situations where you might have just forgot to do one thing, or somebody who already got off by the time you came in didn't handle what they were supposed to do. So they're like, You know what I'm saying? Could you please go and, you know what I'm saying? And it'll even change. Like when you wearing this aura on you, when you wearing this cloth, this garment on yourself internally as a spiritual protection system, when you're wearing this shit on you internally and it's outwardly shown and it's outwardly sensed from you, it'll change even how a manager will interact with you. You get what I'm saying? Like like it'll change that to the highest degree. It'll be a situation where you will be hearing, and even the regular people in the environment, it'll change how they react and respond to you too. So you can even notice if you weren't on this type of shit when you initially got hired at this job, but you are now, you'll notice how when you first started working there, that people would speak to you a certain way, as in nobody would ever ask you. And that is one of the things that I've struggled with the most in my whole entire life. I can't stand when a motherfucker don't ask a question. I can't stand when a motherfucker don't say please or thank you, or you know what I'm saying, shit like that. I can't stand that shit. That shit aggravate the fuck out of me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't stand it when a motherfucker sit here and make demands out of me like I gotta do what the fuck they say or something in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand that type of shit. I like it when a person is like, hey, could you do this? Or would you do this? Or would you be willing to? Or in some type of question or some type of please behind it. You know what I'm saying? Anytime anything like that come, I'm willing to do damn near anything for somebody. You know what I'm saying? But the moment that you demanded and shit like that, I'm going to give you the most negative energy you ever experienced in your whole fucking life. Because, bitch, what is you doing sitting here making demands out of me like I got to do something for you? Even if you are my boss, even if you are my manager, even if I want to keep that job as bad as I fucking, you know what I'm saying? Even if I need it as bad as I need it. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand that type of shit. But like I said, once you start to get into this authority and leadership, being your own internal authority and leadership, and taking action on the things you actually want to do on your own time and shit like that, you'll notice how down the line people will start to even change how they express to you due to your expression and due to how you're taking action on things and due to the what cloths and garments and internal spiritual armor systems that you're wearing on yourself at the moment. You'll start having regular employees instead of being a motherfucker that would demand shit of you. Now they saying please. You know what I'm saying? Now they saying, would you do this for me? Now they saying, please hand me that. Not just saying, hey, hand me that fucking thing over there. Hey, do this, do that. No, they saying please now. Even a manager will come up to you and say, hey, would you go and do this? Would you please handle this responsibility that this ain't shit ass worker missed out on before they clocked out today or whatever? And at the end of the night, they're gonna be like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much. You done very well tonight. Like, we're proud of you. Da 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 da. You'll have situations like that occur. So don't think that this shit is minuscule, and don't think that the shit that you do on your own time and the shit that you're into and the shit that you're paying attention to mentally and emotionally, don't think that it don't mean nothing, and don't think that it don't have an actual practical use and an actual practical application. So that's how you actually get around your authority issues. You get what I'm saying? That's how you solve them. If you're a person who wants to continue having people telling them what to do and shit like that, just accept it and know that only you can depend on yourself, and know that this is how you're programming your reality at the moment, and just keep that in mind, and that'll help you be a little bit more satisfied with it. And on the other hand, be your own authority, be your own leadership to the point where it's outwardly shown, it's an influence, you're being the example. So therefore, you're not going to manifest somebody chirping in your fucking ear all night telling you what to do. And this is for people who extremely dislike having that person in their ear telling them shit. You know what I'm saying? This is how we are grown spirits who take accountability and utilize balance and equilibrium within our aspects of internal constructive systems that we've made for ourselves, spiritual armor, spiritual clothing systems, spiritual cloaks and shit like that. And this is how we actually apply them in real life, to where we're actually getting some type of response from the environment, to where we're actually influencing the environment, to where we're actually transmuting things and changing our circumstances and situations. This is where the real magic is at, bitch. And I'm telling y'all right now, the moment that y'all start actually putting this shit into action, the moment that y'all people who be watching people like me as content and as entertainment at the moment. You get what I'm saying? The moment that you actually start to consider these concepts and the moment you start to actually act on them in your own day-to-day life and put them into that practical application where the wisdom comes in and actually use it in real life is the moment you're going to be like, oh, damn, like this shit actually do work. You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't just something that this motherfucker was online making up and trying to entertain people at the moment and having some type of far out Disney kind of concept of what magic is and shit like that. Like, no, bitch, it's this. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's this shit. It's the internal strength. It's what you're doing internally applied to your physical reality, applied in some type of practical way, and you actually experience and change within your life and shit like that. Instead of just sitting here watching content creators all day and thinking like, oh yeah, maybe one day I'll try that, or you know what I'm saying, or that's cool to talk about, or you know what I'm saying, like, no, this is beyond a talking point. Do you get what I'm saying? This is beyond a talking point. This is real life circumstances and situations. This is experience. This is true wisdom with the practical application. So don't just sit on your hands all day and be watching certain individuals and not ever trying to utilize this shit in any type of practical application way, because a lot of this shit be confirmation bias. And big shout out to Stretch for putting me onto that terminology. I like that terminology. A lot of this shit be confirmation bias, and a lot of y'all be utilizing this shit as entertainment to juice up some type of internal emotion or internal thought form that you have based on what spirituality is or based on whatever. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people just utilize these things to change how they feel at the moment, like, or make themselves feel better in some type of way. Like, nah, bitch, utilize this shit in real life and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. It's more than just a talking point. It's more than just a topic for a video. You know what I'm saying? This is real life shit. Y'all pay attention. For real. But yeah, I believe that's all I got for this topic. You know what I'm saying? But y'all just play this shit out in real life and see what is what. Because you're going to see. You're going to see when you start stepping on these cinder blocks and stepping stones, you're going to see. That's all I can tell you. There's no other way around it. You can't sit here and be on your phone, because this is a thing that y'all need to consider, bro. If you're a person who just sits here and watches content creators and people who are making content like the content that I'm making at the moment, and you just watch these people all day, what you're going to do is you're going to get down a rabbit hole of information, okay? And even if it's not misinformation, you're going to get down a rabbit hole of information, because what happens is, like I said, a lot of people tend to self-identify with things. So what tends to happen is people will think that they're learning shit just by them taking in the information, just by watching content creators like me. And I'm not going to sit here and name every person who make content like mine. Like, at this point, y'all should probably know who these motherfuckers are. I talk about them a good bit in all my videos. You know what I'm saying? But the more you watch content creators like me and the more you take in this information, the more smarter you going to think you are. And the more learning you going to think that you're doing. And the more growth you going to think that you're doing. But the moment that you step out into reality, you haven't actually went through the circumstances and situations and the experience to know what type of percentage levels of energies to put where. You get what I'm saying? So the scales are going to be unbalanced when you start to interact with the environment. So it's going to be basically a waste of time for you. You have all this information, you have all this education, and even if it's not misinformation, it can be good information at the end of the day. And it could be shit that is actually making you smarter. But where you're missing out at is the practical application of it. A lot of people who be doing this shit still be hermits at the end of the day and don't be actually out in the world in any type of way. So there's no testing ground. You know what I'm saying? If you can't test the information, if you can't test the wisdom and knowledge in real life in a practical type of way, there's no point. There's no point. You just learning some shit. That way you can regurgitate information, and that way you can sound smarter than the dumbass individuals who are in your environment. And that's what a lot of y'all be utilizing this shit for.
some formulation of a mental ego to be able to flex some type of what you perceive as mental authority, or you viewing the world more correctly than other individuals do. Even if you are viewing the world correctly and more sufficiently than other individuals, you still don't have your energies placed in the correct type of aspects. So when you actually try to act on these things in real life, you're still going to be missing a point. You're still going to be catching the tail end of the circumstance and situation, and you're still going to be manifesting negativity for yourself due to you not placing these things in the right aspect, due to you not utilizing a practical application of these energies and actually being able to experience some type of change in your life. Bitch. But anyways, we out of here. It's 1:30. I need to chill for a minute. I only got like 6 hours of sleep last night. I was up late last night working on some shit, and I meant to go to bed at 4. That way I would get 8 hours of sleep, wake up at 1 and get or wake up at 12 or whatever fucking time I woke up and get a full 8 hours. But I ended up going to bed at like 6:30, woke up at 1, I think. So I only got like 6 hours, 6.5 hours, some shit like that. So I'm feeling a little groggy right now. So we're not going to push this to an hour at all. I think that was a good breakdown. Y'all going to get the essence of what I'm saying. Just if you can't use it in real life, there's no point in you even learning it. On God, whether that be through the internet to make money in some type of business, whether that be whatever it is. If you can't use it in real life, it's a waste of your fucking time. Anyways, though, Schwetzel out. Peace. Thank y'all for popping up. And shout out Jackie New in the chat. Shout out Jackie New in the truth in the Jew in the chat. Shout out to y'all. Peace out, though. Peace.